In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use goal setting to increase your motivation to do the work necessary to become the bass player you want to be. I'm also going to show you why motivation is key when it comes to making progress with anything you want to learn. Bass hack coming up. Hey Basshackers, Misha here with MMEducation, showing you how to learn faster and practice smarter so you can become the bass player you want to be, express yourself freely on your instrument and connect with your audience on a deeper level. So if you're new here, consider subscribing, and at any point during the video, go check out the show notes and links in the YouTube description. Bullet points for this episode, links to related videos and free resources all in the YouTube description. So let's get going and build some new neural pathways. Have you ever heard a piece of music that blew you away? Of course you have. And so have I. Oftentimes it caused this ignition point where I was ready to go and do whatever it takes to learn this new thing. Unfortunately, this excitement fades away quickly way too often, right? The moment that we realize the amount of work that it will take, our motivation often crumbles. Then there's other times. We get a few practice sessions done feeling like we're doing the exact right thing, but then slowly this feeling creeps in. What am I doing wrong? Why am I not making any progress? Am I even practicing in the right way? Am I just not talented enough? Is it me? It's a conspiracy! To keep the initial motivation going, there are a couple of things that we can do. One of them being setting goals that motivate you to challenge yourself, rather than making yourself feel incapable and throw in the towel. Let's talk a little bit about our brains and how long-term memories are created. The general formula is information plus emotion equals long-term memory. So consider this. If you're not excited, if you're not having a good time practicing what you're doing, if it feels like a chore, then your brain will take much longer to automate new movements or make new concepts intuitive. Here's another piece of advice. If you don't start,
you already failed.
Remember, motivation comes through success, not the other way around. If we can celebrate our tiny wins, if we notice the little progress that we're making, our brain will release dopamine. And what does dopamine do? It further motivates us to challenge ourselves even more and get to that next level. Which means that getting started is really the most important thing that you can do to keep that motivation going. The next step is putting it into perspective. Your hero put in the time and work that was necessary to get where he is now. Are you willing to put in the same amount of time and energy? Are you willing to sacrifice what he had to sacrifice to get where he is? Or is there an in-between kind of way? Can you learn from your hero without going all the way where he went? Pinpoint that initial fascination. What was your what the f*** moment? Which part of what he did caused the cognitive dissonance, which made you go, what? How is that even possible? I can't believe my eyes! Analyze what you already bring to the table. What skills have you already acquired that will help you to learn this new skill? After that, focus on the one big thing. Let's say you've listened to a song and there was this amazing solo in it and it just blew your brains off. So now you want to learn it. There's no need to learn the whole solo note by note. Focus on the one thing that really made you jump. Once you have that one thing, it's really easy to focus on the micro skills that are necessary. Maybe it's just one little technique. Maybe it's just a new shape of a triad or an arpeggio, or a concept on how to play a scale. Okay, have you found that one big thing that you want to learn? the micro skill that makes the big difference, then you're already in the right mindset for my next tip. Take baby steps. Make sure to set your goals just a fraction above your current skill level. This way you ensure that you actually will reach your goal in the same practicing session, which will release further dopamine into your brain, which keeps you motivated to work towards the next step, the next step, the next step. As long as these steps are small enough, you will keep being motivated. So we already know how important it is to set goals which are easy to be reached. But once we reach them, it's really important to actually celebrate these wins. Because what happens if we celebrate wins? For one part, dopamine, you know the story. But for the second part, it shifts our focus onto the progress that we're making rather than the things we can't do yet. If you're focused on the things that you can't do yet and you're constantly thinking, damn, why am I not as good as, or why can't I do this yet? And haven't I practiced long enough? Instead of, oh wow, I just gotten a tiny step further again. The next 5 minutes, I'm gonna do the next tiny step. See these different mindsets? They will make all the difference in the speed of your learning. So before we get to the next tip, let me give you a little definition of the word motivation. Motivation actually derives from the word to move. Movement needs direction, aka goal. Makes sense, right? You need a goal to be motivated to move towards it. Otherwise, what would you be motivated about? Alright, here's my last motivation hack for today. The pain and pleasure concept. You might have heard of it. In general, motivation is something that causes us to move away from pain or to move towards pleasure. We can use this concept to further motivate ourselves to acquire a new skill and put in the work necessary. How? I'm going to show you in the next exercise. The pain and pleasure map. Take a piece of paper or do it digitally, I don't care. Pain on one side, pleasure on the other side. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to think about a skill. Let's take having real good time. And we're going to think about which are the pain points and which are the pleasure points. The pain points of not having that skill and the pleasure points of having acquired that skill. So, for example, this really is just an example. You can take this way further, and I recommend you do it because every single item that you put on this list will further motivate you and keep your motivation going over long term, because acquiring new skills takes some time usually. I also recommend you print this out, put it on the wall in your practicing space, so you always have it as a reminder why you're practicing what you're practicing. So today I showed you how to use goal setting to keep your motivation engine burning long after the initial excitement starts fading. Now it's up to you to not just take in the information, but create new neural pathways in your brain by applying the newly gained knowledge. Question of the day. What are you currently working on? Is there a particular skill that you're working on where you feel stuck? Let us know in the comment section. Remember, some of the coolest ideas come from you and the MMEducation community. So if there's any topic that you would like to be covered in one of the future episodes, let me know in the comments. Alright base hackers, thanks for checking out this video. I hope it got you one step further towards becoming the bass player you want to be. Definitely subscribe for more videos just like this. And if you haven't downloaded my top 10 practicing hacks, I show you exactly what you need to do to learn more in less time. You'll learn about practice space setup, about mindset and state management. You'll learn about how to have better focus and more. You can grab that for free with a link in the description. Until next time, MMEducation helps you to learn faster and practice smarter. So keep up the good work and see you next time. Love and bass.